Hey everybody, Zee Garcia here, and today I'm taking a look at a small roll and write game set in ancient Egypt. This is Anubixx. In the game, each player is going to have their own sheet of paper, and you are trying to build several things on it. You're going to do that by rolling dice, taking those dice that represent stones, and then using those stones to build your pyramid and so forth. The other players during that same turn are going to be able to use the leftover stones, i.e. dice, that you didn't take, and build themselves. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'll show you how it works. We'll come on back after that, and I'll tell you what I think of this one. In the game, the players are trying to build these three different structures: the pyramid, this arch of triumph, and then some mosaics, and they're trying to get the most points for that. They're going to be using these dice that represent different stones, as well as some wild stones and their own quarry. Now, everyone gets one pencil and one of these sheets, and there are a few different ones where the colors have been mixed up so that everyone at the table will have a different starting layout. And then you are ready to begin. So you're using 4 dice. Unless you're playing with 2 players only, then you are using 3 dice. On someone's turn, they are going to roll these dice, like so. And then you can put into play up to 2 stones. They can come from the dice, they can come from your wilds, they can come from the quarry. Let's say I'm playing with 3 players. That means I only have 3 of the wilds, so we make sure that we cross off the final 2. So that we don't have access to them. And I rolled 2 red and 2 orange stones here. Well, if I'm building into the arch, I'd have to start from the bottom. I can work on either one of the 2 supports, but I need green first, then blue, and so on. The final one across the top would be yellow. This isn't helping me right now for that. On the pyramid, I have to build from the bottom up, and every time I put a stone into place, say this green, I'd have to support it with everything below it. I would need that orange and that yellow before I put in that green. And then over here on the mosaics, I have to make sure that I play 2 stones at the same time and that they are connected to each other adjacently. And I would draw a line between them to mark that those are built, okay? Now I'm going to score victory points over here on the arch equal to the highest level I completed. If I make it all the way to the top, I get 12. On the pyramid, I'm going to get victory points equal to the highest level I reached, not necessarily complete. So if I make it all the way to here, either that green, that purple, or that orange, I'm going to get 7 victory points. Not the whole thing. A single X in there will do it. And then the mosaics, I'm counting the number of pairs, the number of tiles I've connected. And if I get them all, I'm going to get 15 points. If I am missing 1 pair and I've connected 10, so 5 pairs, I'm going to get 11 victory points. You're also going to get points for leftover stones in the quarry and leftover wild stones, as well as achieving some of these spots that have symbols earlier than other players. If you do them first, you're going to get some points for that. So again, back to my roll here. I am going to go ahead and take an orange stone and cross this out, and I'm going to take a red stone and cross this out. Now, I've removed these from the pool. The other players at the table can now add 2 stones themselves to their own player sheet. And they can use these communally. They won't remove them from the board in order to use them. Or they can use their wilds or their quarry stones, which I'll come back to in 1 sec. Once that's done, then I'm going to pass these to the next player. They'll roll, so they do that. And maybe they take blue and green. I am left with this. And again, I could use 2 of them. So maybe I'll go ahead and cross out this yellow here, which is now being supported. And I tell everyone else, hey, I've just completed the snake. They have this same round to do the snake as well. Otherwise, they will not get it. So I did the yellow there. And for the orange, well, I'm wasting it. So I could just waste it. I could only put in 1 stone. Or I could start working on the arch here. I like to do that. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use some of my quarry stones in order to do that. So I've got here, the order is purple, green, blue, and so on. If I want to use that green stone, I have to bypass the purple and waste it. So I'm going to waste the purple in order to use this green. And I'm going to mark that off right there. So I'll put in 2 stones. That's the most I can do. Then the next player would go, and I would mark some things off here as well. Maybe they gave me a blue and a purple, let's say. Those were the dice that were left. So I'll mark off this blue and maybe this purple here. And then it becomes my turn once more in a 3-player game. I roll that. And I am going to see if I can maybe advance on the pyramid, but there's no good. I cannot keep going up. I'd have to work on my base there. I rolled no green to start on the other arm, the other pillar. So maybe I'll try for the mosaics here. So I've got a yellows and blue. Maybe I'll do that. So I'm going to do a blue and a yellow. And I'm going to connect this one here to this one here by drawing a line between them. And one of those is a palm tree. Now there are 2 palm trees. I cannot call the palm trees until I've done both. Though I did do that snake, so I'm going to go ahead and circle that. Everybody else who did not achieve the snake spot will cross it off. They don't get it. So the other players have access to these. This is all going to continue with the players continually building these things, unlocking the bonuses, until someone builds 2 of the 3 locations completely. At that point, the game is over, and we are going to score some victory points. So, let's say throughout the game, I finally got my green, I got this blue, maybe I did this red here, and I got the Eye of Ra before anyone else did, but I did not get the Scarab, and I didn't get this one. And maybe I was able to do this one here connected to that red, though for that, let's say for that red, I had to go all the way here, so I had to cross that off and waste these. And maybe I used a wild in there as well, one of the wilds. And for the pyramid, I'm going to help myself out here by doing that. How about that? All right. Now, I'm not the one who completed 2 of the 3 things, so I don't get this bonus either. Don't get that. And none of the other ones I was able to. Well, I got the trees, let's say. None of the other ones I did. So now my final scoring goes as follows, all right? I am going to score along the top here, the pyramid, the highest level I achieved, or I got to, which is this one here worth 7 victory points. I got 7 for that. Then the arch here, the level I completed on both sides, this is the only one I got to. So that's 4 victory points for that. Now the mosaic I really did badly, and I only connected 2 pairs, so that's 4 tiles for 4 victory points, okay? And then the achievements, each one I completed, I get 3 victory points for. So that's 9 victory points. And then lastly, the wild stones I have left, each one's worth 2, so that's 4 points. And then the quarry stones, each one worth 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left over. I'm going to add up all of that, write it right there for my total. And if I have the highest score, of course, I win the game. So there you go. That's how you play Anubixx. Let's go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of it. All right, there it is. So let me talk about it, all right? I tend to enjoy roll and write games, but I have to say this one feels real, been there, done that. This is a game that just does not generate a whole lot of excitement for me. And let me see if I can express why I feel that way. So the one thing I do like in the game is that this is a roll and write game with a theme. And I think that's great. A lot of these games tend to have no attempt at a theme whatsoever. It's colors and numbers. And you're rolling dice that are colored and have pips. And that's it. You put together something according to whatever the rules say you do. Some abstraction of nothing. This one is an abstraction of something. So I give it props for that. For the designers attempting to have a roll and write game that has theme. It's not the only one. There are plenty of good ones that have themes. But this is nice. I like seeing that. Now everything else is, again, not particularly exciting or downright limp. So the aesthetics here, I can definitely imagine some issues with color blindness out there. I mean, it's all the sides on all the dice look the same except for the color. So I could definitely see that being an issue. But everything just looks bland anyway. It's kind of the boards, the dice, everything has the feeling of something you probably have played before. Not exciting. The replayability, Not exciting. It lacks excitement. You do whatever you can at any given moment because that's what you can do, and there's no good hook. There's no good reason to keep coming back to this one. The game length, it's about 20 minutes, but again, no excitement. It's not long. 20 minutes is fine, but that's 20 minutes that could be towards a game that uses those 20 minutes to generate interesting choices, excitement, highs and lows, a hook. None of that, unfortunately, is really here. It's a game that you perform the functions as you go along, and that might be enough for you. It might entertain you, and that's fine if it does, but it isn't going to stick with you after you're done playing it, like, at all. You probably will forget you played this. The ease of play here is fine. Unfortunately, and this is a really weird thing, I found the rules, for being so simple, were weirdly and badly written. I had to check a few things several times. There was one specific section in the very short rule book, which I looked up online in English from the company. I just had to keep reading this one section to figure out, wait, do I take a die even if I'm changing the color? I'm still not sure, I'll be honest. When I'm rolling the dice and I need a blue and a purple, and I take a blue and mark a blue, and then I want to turn a wild into a purple. I want a purple, and there are none. Do I take a yellow die and mark it as cross out wild, and then now it's purple for me? Do I just say I have another virtual die that is purple, hence leaving the yellow die for other players? I'm not sure, but that's like one of 3 rules in the game, and it is not clear. At least it wasn't clear to me. Lastly, tactics, strategy, luck, all those things. You do in this game whatever you can do. If you roll the dice that let you work on the pyramid without investment in anything else that's too difficult, then do that. Now, yes, I know you should. If you do more of one thing, it does generate more victory points. I mean, that makes sense. So if you're spending some stones from the quarry, and you can see that it's better, you can easily do that math if you so choose and be like, well, I'm burning 2 points. How much is this spike? 3 points? Is that worth it? What if I just don't spend the stones and put them in the pillars instead of the pyramid? Oh, that's better. I save a point by doing that. I'll do that. That's it. There's no hook here. There's no drive towards one thing or the other. It feels like ultimately there are no interesting choices. You work on whatever you can, whenever you can. If you got lucky dice rolls, you probably will win because you're not burning through your stock of points, i.e. that quarry, right? So there you go. Those are my thoughts. There are so many roll and writes out there and so many good ones too. Let me give you my bottom line on this. A tired and perfunctory stab at roll and write gaming from a company that has made some excellent games in the genre, but now seems stuck in needing to make more of the same. This is going to get a 4 out of 10 from me, and again, I would certainly recommend from the same company other roll and write games like Quicks and Quinto. Those are good. They have no theme, but they are much more engaging than this. This just feels like, hey, here's another one, because it's another year and we need to continue publishing roll and write games. You can safely skip this one. There's nothing here to see. There's so many, like I said, good choices for this genre. I would recommend some of those. So there you go, everybody. That is Anubixx. I am Zee Garcia. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.